Started. Our first session is Opening the Gates of Waqf, where we will set the foundations for the entire conference. We will explore what Waqf truly is, how endowment assets are invested, and how proper stewardship can create long-term sustainable impacts for our communities. We are honored to open with Dr. M. Yaqub Mirza, who is one of the first pioneers of Islamic finance in the United States. He's the chairman and the CEO of Sterling Management Group and has spent decades helping institutions build ethical, faith-aligned financial systems and endowments. So please join me in welcoming Dr. M. Yaqub Mirza for opening the gates of Waqf.
Assalamu alaikum. So which button I should press? The green button. The green button, okay. Thank you so much for inviting me. Before I start, I want to share with you one story, and that is, theme of my talk will be big donor, be a big donor. Because unless we have big donors like Dr. Isam, we won't get anywhere. So, a brother made it to heaven. Angel received him, checked his credentials, said, okay, you are the right person. Let's go and find your abode. So they walked on Heaven Street, and they passed through the palaces, single-family home, condos, apartments, and then there was a little hut. So he said, well, this is your place. So the person asked the angel, why can't I have a big house? He said, the money you sent us, this is the best I can do. So this person said, can I pay for and get an upgrade? Said, too late. So the screen, as you see there are so many definitions of endowment. The one I like the most is that it provides intergenerational fairness. So if we are doing well, and we want to make sure that our kids are doing well, establish Waqf al-Khairi or Waqf al-Ahli, and that will take care of the future of the children. And we'll talk more about it. And the other definition, it is a gift which keeps on giving. It doesn't stop as if it's properly managed. Now, what is endowment? Endowment is basically an asset which is put in the service of God, can never be touched, never be sold, but the profits can be used for any charitable purposes which are defined in the trust document. You can see there are many myths. Last time I was talking to South Africa, they have Waqf South Africa. All their assets are invested in real estate. And the day I was talking to them, they told me that their assets have gone down 50% because of the market collapse in South Africa. So these were the things which I used to believe. And we also know that it's very difficult to raise money for a Waqf. So then I met Nick Kaiser, President Emeritus of a Money Mutual Fund, and he told me a story which I will share with you. But here is the next slide. I should go to the next slide also. So that's the practices and myths. So endowments, which are forever. There is no call for capital. There's no liquidity requirement. All you have to do is to give out the profit which has been realized. So you can afford to take high risk. Capital is never called. And high risk gives you high reward. Now, as you know, for asset manager, the biggest issue we have is liquidity management. Somebody walks into the bank and says, I need $1 million back. You have to have $1 million. And so is with the mutual funds and others. So liquidity is not an issue in case of endowment. So here's the story. I used to have similar views I just mentioned as a myth. But I used to meet with Nick Kaiser, President Emeritus of Money Mutual Fund, every 3 months. He's a Yale graduate, very smart man, and I used to learn a lot from him. So one time I expressed these views to him, and he said, no, Yaqub, let me disagree with you. I said, okay. So he told the story He said Yale graduates met after 25 years of their graduation. And one of them, they said, what can we do for Yale when we meet 50th anniversary? So they said, what do you have in mind? They said, okay, go around. There were 10 people. They collected $75,000. So one person said, I know a person called Charlie in New York who does investments. They called him, they sent him the money. Charlie asked them, how much risk can you take? He said, we can afford to lose $75,000. He invested that money. After 25 years, when they met for the 50th anniversary, they called Charlie, and Charlie said, I have $90 million for you. And this changed my perception. And it's doable. So I looked at Nick, I said, Nick, will you be my Charlie? He said, yes. So I told him, okay, I'll give you my money, which is for retirement of my children. They will retire probably in 30 years or 25 years. So you invest it so they can have this kind of money. All right? Now, you could practice this on your own. You can have Roth IRA, put $5,000, $6,000 in it, let it grow for 25, 30 years, no taxes, it grows tax-free. You can contribute to your children's Roth IRA as long as they work, and you can have a similar results. I just saw Dr. Ahmed Gauri. I loved what he is doing, entrepreneurship and endowments. And Umar Ashraf is here. He is very much part of what I'm going to share with you. He is chairman of Adams, so I'm glad that if I make a mistake, he can correct me. So case study, let me also click. So this is a real story, so don't take it as I don't believe in fairy tales. So a nonprofit organization started an endowment in 1986, and we were together when we did that. And you can read it. The rate of growth which we had, this is the real growth, because we invested in a very innovative and entrepreneur way. So next slide, also share with you in terms of circles where the investment was. Now, alongside, while we were investing Waqf money, several families, they put together their savings and they said, why don't we also start investing together? And that's what we did. Those investments have generated enough profit that we have created our own personal endowment. And then from the profits of the endowment, investments, and the zakah on the investments, we have undertaken lots of activities. Now, when I go over these activities, I'm trying to show you that how endowments can help create so many activities. I'm not trying to show off or sharing with you. So, the very first one is Fair Social Services. This is an organization in Herndon, Virginia. It is about $2.5 million, and they distribute to needy, poor people, medical emergencies, unemployment, others. Next one is George Mason University. We created a center in the name of my dear brother Abdulhamid Abu Sulaiman. So now we are funding it, $300,000 a year. It is Abu Sulaiman Center for Global Islamic Studies. Now in George Mason, we have 40,000 students. Imagine the impact the Islamic Study project will have on those people. And most of those students, when they graduate, they go to work for the US government. So you can see the indirect benefit of educating them Islamic studies. What will that be? Next is Indiana University. I don't see Sharik here. Oh, he is? Okay, I'm sorry. There you are. All right. Now, Shenandoah University, we are providing $125,000 a year for needy students. I follow what Yusuf Qadawi has said. Students are eligible for zakah, and it doesn't matter what they are studying and what faith they are. They are asset to the community. Now, in the memory of my very dear brother Jamal Bazanji, we have also established Bazanji Institute, a part of the Shenandoah University, which has been endowed so that this center will continue forever. He loved to reform higher education, in Muslim-majority countries, and that's what we are doing. So our activities are in Malaysia, Bosnia, Jordan, Palestine, and here. Karachi University Alumni Association, we are contributing to, we have scholarships and others. But very innovative thing, which Dr. Gauri, you will be happy. Electricity is very expensive in Pakistan. So we undertook trying to have solar panels on the roofs of the building in Karachi University, and the savings which they make for not paying the electric bill is giving scholarships. So now for the next 30 years, as long as solar panels work, you have the scholarships will be given. Zakah being a third pillar, I'm very much interested in it. I know Islamic Relief also had a workshop on Zakah, but relevance to North America is something we need to explore, discuss. And even Yusuf Qaddafi book, which was written in the 1960s and onward, is almost 80 years old. So really, or 60 years old. So we need to come up with what is relevance. And I know we will not have time to discuss Zakah as such, but we have 3 years plan. We are into second year now. We have funded this project, and we hope to come up with best practices and others. Now, we also want to have Zakah ambassadors. What are those? We're looking for retired imams, and we will hire them, and they will go out to educate masses about Zakah, but not collect Zakah. So they will not be asking to give me the money, but they will just collect. So first, that person is Sheikh Muhammad Noor, who will be, inshallah, doing that. So the next slide. The VR is a new technology. It's coming up and going. So we decided so teacher education and teacher training is one of our main focus. So we decided to make VR for Hajj and Umrah, with the focus that we'll train teachers. Teachers will then motivate students, and therefore we will launch a movement of going to Hajj. But then, of course, it turned out that VR Hajj can be used to train Hajis when they go there, what to expect, what to do, and it's been used as a training instrument. And then many non-Muslims are interested in this, that we put on 2 sheets, go to one of the largest gatherings in the world. So what do you do there? So they can watch this VR, which is done, is available. And the last thing, many people in our countries which cannot afford to go to Hajj. So maybe they can at least enjoy what Hajj is all about. The VR on Al-Quds is ready, it's available, and we are working on having the Quranic stories on VR. So first such story will be on Hazrat Yusuf, that's now because that is very common to Islam as well as to Christianity. Next one, professional development. So we have coined or come up with a word called prophetic pedagogy. And that is that how Prophet Muhammad ﷺ used to teach. And if he taught at that time, made people good human beings, those techniques are divinely and they must work now. And why aren't we using them? So that is our 6 years long program is going on Zoom. And this picture here shows Sheikh Abdullah Adris is heading this. And our team went to Malaysia, and that's where they conducted in-person program. The next one, Sheikh Majid went to Malaysia twice. He met with Anwar Ibrahim, the Prime Minister, and Prime Minister told him that we want you to conduct Imam training programs. So he is in the process of now developing and implementing those programs. And by the way, Anwar Ibrahim is one of the trustees for our Center for Islam in the Contemporary World. Now, next slide. Please read what is on the right-hand side. When I was at his home in April having dinner, Dr. Anwar told me that why don't you have an office in Malaysia? And I asked him, I don't like to spend money, what this office is going to do. And he said, look, I'm a chairman of ASEAN countries, and whatever you're doing here, teacher training programs, imam training programs, you can duplicate those in other Asian countries. So we have hired a person who is about to start that process. Now, I love imams. They are our leaders, spiritual guides, counselors, advisors, mediators, counselor-in-chief. They work long hours at the expense of their families. May Allah be pleased with them. But then, they are overworked, underpaid, and least appreciated. So, we created a scholarship for the last 6 years, which only gives scholarships to the children of imams and chaplains. It's $5,000, 12 people each year. And they can pursue any education, any field they want. We don't tell them to become attorneys or this and that, because that's not our business. They should pursue what they are passionate about. So, thank you so much. With that, we also started a savings program. We tried to have it like a retirement plan with the MANA, but we couldn't because they don't work with one organization, they work each center. We are exploring with NAIF if they can be loosely associated, that we can have a retirement plan for them. But in the interim, I should go to, no, that's next one. So in the interim, what we have done is we told them, whatever you save each year, we will match 10% of that at the end of the year. And last year was the first year we have done that. So we want to, because they don't have any savings. They don't have any Social Security because most of the people they qualify as clergy, and they don't pay any they don't deduct Social Security. Now the next project is my favorite. Dr. Jasir Auda approached me some time ago, and he said, Yaqub, I want to devote my life to translate Quran with the Maqasidi focus. I loved it, but I told him I may not be around. It's a long project. But he said, I'll work very hard, I'll work very fast, and we should be able to finish. Now, I'm very pleased to report to you that he has now started the 8th volume, which is the last volume, in Arabic, and he has finished or started on the 7th volume in English, which will be finishing soon. So in 2026, we want to launch this project, and we are hoping that Anwar Ibrahim will launch it in Malaysia, because he's doing it in Malaysia. And after that, we want to record, and he will explain. Now, let me side note, we want to translate in English, but I was very afraid that if somebody else reads it, understands it, whatever they understand, they translate it into something else, meaning will be lost. So we were able to convince Jasir Auda to hire 2 people who are translators. He finally reviews the translation, so make sure that this is what he meant. So lastly, remember, I started with be big donor. So 2 people were stranded in the island, and one of them was very nervous, running up and down and saying, what's going to happen to my family? What's going to happen to my businesses? And the other person is very relaxed, lying on the beach, and has no worries. So he asked him, what's wrong with you? Why are you not worried? He said, I donate big to Adams, and that tall, big man called Imam Majid is going to come out and find me. So that's the advantage of big donor, because you don't have to worry about it. Someone is going to come after you. Thank you so much. I know there may not be much time for answer questions, but please send me email, call me. I don't charge for my time to anybody. So I'll be very happy to participate in this endowment and entrepreneurship, because that's what I'm focusing on the rest of my life. Thank you so much. You have time for questions? Yeah, yes, please. Allah is very kind to permit us for questions. Yes, Sharik. You know all about it, so what are you asking?
What inspired me about your presentation was, and it's something that we've been talking about, which is that your approach to wealth and wealth management requires some faith. You have to believe in something that can and may will happen, and you have to have this relationship with God and believe in God to do everything, and you have to trust. But far too often, what I've found, and I think we were talking about this earlier, when we're meeting with major donors and when we're talking about what they want guarantees. And so I think you've shown a faithful approach. I just would love for you to share a little bit about this connection to faith and investments of wealth, because far too often the conversations are about guarantees, especially in this area.
Yeah, Shari, good part is that we have no other investors. It is the group of people we started. We don't fundraise. Since 95, we have raised no funds. And we, report to ourselves. And the money grows, we don't borrow. All our projects are interest-free. And one thing which I mentioned in passing, but let me say, please create Waqful Ahli, because that will ensure the future of your children. And, children, we hope children are good, but some are not good. So, so that's really our situation. We are growing from our own investments, reinvesting, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has helped us tremendously. We are funding all these projects internally, so we don't have that situation. But if you have that situation, we can discuss and we can answer. Yes?
I'd say probably the biggest issue that I've noticed in Islamic organizations is, it was probably touching on his point of risk tolerance. And something that you mentioned here was very pointed in that there has to be a person has to be very risk tolerant in order to put their money in the space. So if you have people who are asking for guarantees, those probably aren't the people who should be involved.
Sure. Yeah, you're right. We cannot offer them guarantees, but high risk comes with high reward. And if we are long-term, things correct automatically. Anything you buy for long-term, 25, 30 years, it's going to appreciate. And alhamdulillah, we have, you saw the industries we are in. We took a risk, but it's been very rewarding. And I'm looking for entrepreneurial projects where we can, undertake. We have the resources to undertake. Yes, yes.
So I was going to say, my question is, how do we increase that risk tolerance?
Yeah, it's through education. In my presentation, I am a big risk taker. And alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has helped us, guided us, and we are able to, survive. We made bad investments, but the good ones were very good ones. That's for the good. Salam.
You have a blueprint for what you have in here, Brother Mirza.
Yeah, I just showed it to you.
That's a PowerPoint.
Yeah, thank you. It's all in my head. So, and Umar shows the head. But that's a very good point. So what we have done is systematically, I'm 78 now, systematically I have introduced succession plan. And those people are working with me for the last 12 years, 13 years, 14 years. And very consciously in every position, every company, we have a succession plan. They have been named as chairman-elect or vice chairman-elect, so they function in that fashion. And one thing is that, someone told me this joke, it's a very good one. When you look around for people, we should look for talent. Not just hire people whom we know and who. So the joke goes like this. There was a company, they had a president who was an idiot. And someone went to the chairman, he said, everybody knows he's an idiot. Why you hired him? And he said, but he's our idiot. So if we use that philosophy, in every university I'm involved, whenever we have to find a professor or hire someone who can teach, we have to go for a national search. And the national search could end up with anybody. So when I was involved with hiring Islamic study professor in George Mason, the second person online was somebody, Russian Jew from Buffalo. And we had to make a decision. But the other person, Abdulaziz Sadina, he's from Africa. May Allah be pleased with him. He's not in good health. He qualified and we hired him. So always look for talent. If you don't look for talent, projects are not going to succeed. And of course, don't invest overseas. We invested in 10 countries. We lost money in everywhere except in Zimbabwe. So now all our investments are in the United States. It is a stable society. Laws are there, and you are here to protect it. So what we do is, if we want to fund a project in overseas, we send the money from here. We don't. So we started with investing in other countries, use the profits for local schools, masajid, youth centers, and all that. But that model didn't work. And so now what we're doing is we send money overseas. I didn't mention, we gave $300,000 to Islamic University in Malaysia for paying the tuition fee for foreign students. Because there are a lot of foreign students who are very qualified, but they don't have the money to go, resources. And they're just maskeen in the country. So really, there are so many other activities which I have not mentioned. I don't have the time to go through. But invest here, make smart decisions, hopefully not like me, learn from my mistakes, and just tawakkal Allah, go ahead and do it. But the goal, you are always available. I'm always available to you. Anytime you want to call me and pick on my brain, it's available. Yes?
You have been always a helpful, right? And you
Wa alaikum salam.
When you're talking about the high risks, it is risky. Do you have any risk management approach, like other financial models that they have risk management approach, and they scientifically measure the risk, identify the risk, and then mitigate the risks? Do you have any risk management approach with Islamic? Can we adopt Islamic risk management strategy to minimize the risk and secure the investments?
Yeah, I think I see Uwais and other people who are going to talk about Azad Fund, Iman, and Amana Mutual Fund. They will talk about that, what methodologies they use to manage risk. Of course, we manage risk because you don't want to throw the money. It's very easy to lose money. It's very difficult to make money. All right? Yes?
Thank you very much indeed. It was an inspiring presentation, and I'm taken by what you have been doing and so forth, the activities and everything. My name is Shakarullah. I'm an associate professor of finance at the University of North Carolina System. And I'm also the founding chairman of the North American Conference on Islamic Finance. Islamic finance is one of my areas. We had our third conference this year in October in collaboration with Dr. Shahid Siddiqui. And I was thinking, how can we work together to synergize instead of working in isolation? Because we are, you're doing a lot of things, but we just started the conference three years ago. And I want to see if there's any venue or option that we can collaborate to your efforts, or you can collaborate to our efforts.
We are open. Depends what you are asking us to do. And by the way, when I showed the slide awarding the honorary doctorate to Dr. Anwar, the president of the university, Tracy, was there. She was wearing a scarf. And I asked her, why are you wearing a scarf? She said, I want to be respectful to the culture and the country I'm in. And throughout, she was wearing the scarf. And the students who joined us, all the female, they were also wearing scarves. Anything else? This time, okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I hope this can generate some discussion. Thank you.